Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Graphcast. Today I've got Aria Wilds on. Say hello.
Hello everyone, thank you very much for having me on.
So you are a influencer, athlete,
Yes.
model and content creator.
Yes, I am, yes.
So these girls who you want to fight, how would you see them fights going?
As long as I box to my attributes and I do exactly what I did last night, listen to my corner, relax, just go in there and just dominate with my jab, I can win. 100% I can win. I don't feel that I'm out of my depth, but equally I know it's not going to be a walk in the park. I would never discredit Julie for her boxing because I know she's strong, I know she can box, and I know, she's obviously a tough woman. So as long as I do what I need to do, then there's no reason why I can't come out on top.
Because I feel like people in Misfits and things like that, just through being like an avid person to watch combat sports, you're at a better level. Like, for example, the level that they're used to is not seen in the kind of fights that you're having, which is great because you're at a really high level. But obviously, as soon as you get the opportunity, because I feel like people in Misfits and levels such as that, they underestimate people who fight on your kind of the shows that everyone else is having because it's looked at as lesser than Misfits.
Yeah, so absolutely. I think with the Misfits, there's kind of like two types of fighters you got on there. You've got like the Julie Pocker, Elle Brooke, they've got a boxing background now. It's evident that they can box and they're working up the rankings and they're holding their belts and stuff. Obviously, you've got Carla Jade as well, who's coming into the scene, who's also doing really well. And then you've got a couple of the influencers that are literally making their boxing debut. So they've not had the experience from other fights. And there's one thing that you can't buy in combat sports, which is experience. So I think where I've been on the unlicensed scene a little bit now, getting as many fights as I can, what I'm gaining from that, it's not necessarily the record that matters, it's the experience, and I know I've got that on top of the other girls.
So I know this is going back a little bit, but one thing I have to mention is because I remember before, because I remember we first met at an O2 event, didn't we? What was BKB then? Now BYB. Obviously, I remember seeing the poster for the Chris Cyborg fight. So tell me about that, because that is mental.
That is mental. Do you know what? It's like going to a fight. Like yesterday, I was going to the fight and I was saying to Pepe, I was like, I can't believe I fought Chris Cyborg. Like, that is absolute madness. Like, on paper, that should never, ever have happened. And from an outside perspective, it's like, is Aria just stupid or is she just really courageous? And for me, that fight, I mean, it's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Who do you know that can say I shared the ring with Chris Cyborg? She's
like Amanda Nunes, who's one of the best female athletes of all time.
It's just crazy, isn't it? But for that round and a half that I was in there with her, I learned more about boxing than I've done through any spar and any other fight. That's when sharing the ring with her, you learn about her timing of her punches, the accuracy of each punch. Like, everything was just fine-tuned and so perfect with her. And I felt that I've taken a lot of that experience and I've been able to apply a little bit to each fight. And it wasn't until last night when I did the prize fighter, I feel like, actually, do you know what? I have been able to display what I've learned with Cyborg, and that's patience, knowing what punches to throw and having that accuracy of to throw and then not be hit after.
No, because I remember when I first saw it, I thought, because it's hard to, especially with fight posters, you think it's fake, don't you?
Yeah. And there's so much of it online as well now where you have like this is my fantasy fight. Like, this is what I like. Yeah.
And it looks so real. And I remember thinking to myself then, I remember saying, obviously it's great, like, do you know what branding proximity is?
No.
So basically, like, for example, Chris Cyborg in the fight game is a big brand and she's a big name.
Yeah.
For example, they see her at this level. They see you fighting her, so people see you at the same level. So it's called branding proximity, and it's really good for your brand.
Yeah.
Just well being there, great experience, but being able to have them huge fights.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic for your
massively
for your name.
Yeah. And I think as well, like, the best thing that's come from that is, obviously I've been influencing before I started boxing. And when I first started boxing, it was on a white collar show, a local show in my town. People were a little bit like, oh, they know I'm a hard girl. They know I like a bit of a scrap, but no one's ever seen me box. And it was like, oh, maybe she's just doing it for clout and to be like, oh, it's an influencer boxing thing. And it wasn't until I fought Chris Cyborg, people were actually showing a level of respect after, like, do you know what? She is training hard, and to get into the ring with someone like Chris Cyborg, I'm not doing it for clout. I'm not doing it to help elevate I'm doing it because I'm truly passionate about boxing. And I think it took that Cyborg fight for people to be like, do you know what? Like, props to her. Like, she is actually like really invested in this. And since then as well, it's like, yes, I'll take the influencer fights, but I'll also fight on the white collar scene as well. And I think people think, oh, it's all about money and money. I've taken fights where I've not made a single penny. If anything, I've lost money, and I'm not embarrassed to share that because I take no embarrassment in the things that I enjoy. And it's not about the money for me. It's not about the clout or anything like that. It's just, I just love sharing the ring with these phenomenal women. And some of them will bring the best out of me in my boxing skills. Some of them will bring out the worst. And it's just such an amazing journey to share all of these experiences with so many different level fighters. But for me, it's like, yeah, I want the Julie Pockers because, again, she's right at the top of the influencer scene. And why would I not want to share the ring with her? Why would I not want to fight her? It'd be crazy if I didn't want to fight her.
Well, one thing which is great, you've got to think about, fighting Chris Cyborg, and having that experience, the girls in Misfits are not the same talent as Chris Cyborg.
No.
So it's not like, for example, it's not like you're playing Sunday League.
Yeah.
And then, like, for example, Chris Cyborg, that's Prem football, that is.
Yes, yeah.
It's not. You've already competed at that level.
Yeah.
So going over to Misfits and smashing all of them. You've already competed against the highest level. So literally going against them, you're already at that level.
Should smoke them.
Yeah, yeah.
I think as well, like now, when I fought Cyborg, afterwards, straight after I fought, I want to train to get onto Misfits and fight Julie Pocker. Like straight after, I was like, that is my goal. And whether I've got to wait a year, 2 years, 3 years, that is my goal. That is the ultimate goal for me. And we've always said it will face different challenges. With Cyborg, the challenge was a mental challenge of going against someone that's got all of that experience. Obviously, it's quite an intimidating thing going into the ring with someone who, she's a striker. She's just an absolute savage killer. So you've got to deal with that mental aspect, where with someone like Julie, it will be a more competitive fight. And it's like, right, let's actually see what you've learned through these years of growing as a boxer. So I think it will bring different challenges, if that makes sense.
From the girls who are on Misfits, through all the different weight categories, what do you think? Obviously, because as discussed before, obviously people with boxers who box for a long period of time, they have their own style, they have their own techniques which they're good at, and obviously everyone has weaknesses.
Yeah.
So what do you feel like you'd be able to exploit in them? Do that make sense?
I feel that in the last couple of weeks, something's clicked in my boxing, and I can't put my finger on it, and I can't wait to show these girls in the ring, but I've made slight changes, and I think the way that I move, I don't think they would have any answers for. I can fight coming forwards, and I can also fight on the back foot as well, and I'm a good counter puncher. So I think they're the sort of things that would trouble them.
Definitely.
But also, I can adapt to any situation, whether I'm fighting on the back foot, I'm fighting coming forwards. I think they just won't have any answers for it. I think they're used to fighting someone that's got their style, and they fight to that style all through the fight, where for me, I can change.
Adapt.
I'm like water. I can just, I'm just fluid. And like last night, I showed that as well. Like I was fighting on the back foot a bit, and then I'm coming forwards, and then the girls in front of me, they just had no answers for anything. Like, what can they do? They didn't want to come in, because one of them said to her corner, they massively underestimated. They were like, her power, they were like, she carries too much power. One of them said too much power, so I could see she didn't want to come in. So it's almost like chess, isn't it? You
Yeah,
play
yeah,
games
yeah.
with them, and I'm like inviting her in, and then as soon as she's in, I throw that backhand, and her head's like pinging up and stuff.
See,
It's brilliant.
It's great. I think, I know, from the talent that you have and what you're already showing up, obviously, for example, Misfits, obviously, in the influencer game, that's the top level, isn't it?
Yeah.
They see you, they know who you are.
Yeah.
And I feel they're scared of someone like yourself.
I think now they feel, I wouldn't want to like boost my ego too much and say they're intimidating.
Also they're intimidated.
But I think there is that intimidating factor. And like I said, because I've got so much more experience to them now I'm learning about fight IQ. I think they massively underestimate that. And one thing that I've got is patience. I have learned patience. I've learned it the hard way because I've had to take my beatings through it. But that's all part of the process. So, yeah, I mean, I'm happy for them to underestimate me. Julie said before on X that easy fight, easy money.
Oh, really?
And I'm happy that she thinks that way. But I'd like to prove her otherwise. But, yeah, hopefully we could get that fight on. And I can show her that it's not going to be an easy fight for her.
I think for all of them, you'll show them it's not going to be an easy fight.
Yeah.
Because they take note of these. People like in the top level, they take note of what's happening in the up and coming, the contenders and everything.
Yeah.
Then you are a contender.
Oh, massively. I hope they're watching. And like studying me, just as I am them. I'm going to watch them and stuff. But yeah, I'm ready to make some massive noise on this influencer scene and the white collar scene. Because again, at the beginning of the year, I thought I don't want to do any more white collar shows. I just want to concentrate on the influencer scene. But it's like the influencers don't want to fight me.
So I've heard you mention it before. So what's your plans then with bare knuckle?
So, as I said before, I'd like to achieve everything that I want to achieve in glove boxing. And I think it's not necessarily of fighting this opponent or having this title as such. It's more just when I feel that I'm ready, then I would like to transition to BKB. I absolutely love the sport. I find it such a beautiful sport. It might sound a little bit sick to some, but you know, you've got like the bloody aspect. The knockouts actually aren't for me. I actually find it quite uncomfortable seeing people knocked out cold like a plank of wood.
Yeah.
But the whole art form of BKB, I feel very drawn to. So I think it would just be a transition when I'm ready. Obviously, I need to gain more experience from boxing, making sure I'm defensively a lot better. But I feel like I've got a lot to bring. I think with the BKB, a lot of the fighters aren't always amazing at boxing. A lot of them, they're hard women. They're very hard men as well. But I want to show that you can do bare knuckle and also be good at boxing as well. So that's the element that I'd like to bring to them.
I know this is a bit of a rogue question, but I remember just talking to you a few weeks ago. Is it correct after you did a ring gunner for BKFC, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Did you have a chat with Conor McGregor or something?
Yes. So Conor McGregor followed me on Instagram, which was crazy. I couldn't believe it. I was literally like screaming in the car. I was like, oh my God. And then I was with my friend Carla and I was like, do you think I should message him? And she was like, yeah, message him. He's so nice. Like, he's very friendly. He's always like praises everyone for all of the work that they do on BKFC. So I thought, right, I'll just drop him a message and just said, oh, hey, like, thank you very much for having me on the show. And he said that he watched the show and we did a really good job and he's excited for me to come back. So that was really nice. Yeah, that was really nice. So hopefully I can fight on BKFC at some point. That would be wicked.
That would be very good. No, obviously, because I remember you said, and obviously I'm a big McGregor fan. So obviously when you said, I was... Okay, so if you wanted to go into bare knuckle, what promotions would you want to go into? Would it be BKFC straight away or other promotions like BYB or Battle of the Bone?
So BYB have actually approached me about fighting for them, but since they've gone from BKB to BYB, it's not appealing to me. The Trigon, would not favour my style of boxing. It's very small. I don't like that style of fight. It's more like brawling, and for me, that takes away BKB. So that one's out the question. Bad to the Bone have asked me to fight on their bare knuckle and also hybrid boxing. But after ring girling for BKFC, I don't know what it was. Like the whole setup was just everything was very smoothly run. I loved the crowd. I loved all of the staff there as well. It would come down to being the right opponent, but also with BKB, it would be the right fight purse as well. Obviously, there's a lot of risks there of cuts, broken hands and stuff. I'm a model as well, so I need to take into account after fighting, if I've got broken hands and I can't work, I need to make sure that my fight purse is going to at least cover me a bit, because I'm a mother as well. Like, I need to live, I need to pay bills as well. So it's just a case of finding the right opponent, the right fight purse, but BKFC is definitely the more appealing promotion at the moment.
It does. It is the. I look at BKFC as it's the bare knuckle version of MMA of the UFC.
Yeah.
It's both at a very professional level.
The only thing is with the circular ring.
Oh yeah, circular. Yeah, I keep forgetting it's circular. Yeah.
I thought, I don't know if I would get not be able to find my bearings because it's circular, but then I guess it doesn't really matter too much. I think maybe that's just because I'm used to being in an actual boxing ring, but when I ring girled there the other weekend, I just loved it. I don't know what it was. I just loved the whole vibe. Like everyone had such good energy levels, and the matchmaker on there as well, he's really nice, and I just felt like they're people that I could trust. I think when it comes to fighting, whether it's bare knuckle or MMA or boxing or whatever it is, it's key that you go on promotions that you trust, because you're putting your life in their hands to find you the right matchups, making sure all the medical things are right, all of the promotions good and stuff. So it's just finding what's right for you.
Alright, well, thank you for coming on today's episode.
Thank you very much for having me.
And good luck in your future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.